The busy period has begun for the Indian cricket team in the Cricket World Cup. 11 days will see them play 4 games, starting with this one in Southampton. Afghanistan taking on India. India looking to maintain their winning momentum. Thank you so much for joining us on ESPNcricinfo Match Day as we look ahead to that game with Murali, Kartik and Michael Hussey. This is the big boys taking on the minnows, and I'm only purely taking into account what Afghanistan have done in the World Cup so far. Keeping that in mind, you've had an injury to Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Vijay Shankar, they're saying he picked up a slight little injury on the toe courtesy Jasprit Bumrah. Will you be making changes to your squad? Because there'll be a Rishabh Pant. Do you see a Mohammad Shami coming into the squad now?
Now, one is a forced change, obviously, because of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. And I don't think the Vijay Shankar injury has to be or will be too big for him to miss out on a game. And it's a direct swap for Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Apart from that, I don't see, and I don't think there should be any change.
So you don't see any change for Rishabh Pant, who's just been drafted into the squad? You see no chance for him?
Does anybody have to give him a game just because he's been brought into the team? I don't think so.
So here, of course, is your playing 11. KL Rahul will be opening. Now Mohammad Shami coming in. This sort of tells you the strength and depth of this Indian team, that you lose a frontline bowler and there's one waiting in the wings.
Yeah, there is. And there is. That's why we've been very blessed that way in the last 2-3 years, that we've got a good group of bowlers coming through. Even the guys who have missed out are really good bowlers. And also, Dinesh Kartik is waiting in the wings. Somebody like an Ambati Raidu has not been picked. So we're just blessed that we've got a good group of players in and around the side.
India are pretty lucky, I guess, with Mohammad Shami, because there was a lot of talk before the tournament about whether he should have been playing ahead of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. So to have someone of that quality be able to come in as a direct, straight replacement is very fortunate for India.
You know, his numbers, of course, will be coming up on our screen in a bit, and he's got a pretty good numbers in ODI cricket. I think it's about 11 wickets or something. There they are, 11 innings, 19 wickets to his name, the average of 26.42. There was an article I was reading, Kartik. There was a particular yo-yo test that Mohammad Shami failed. And it was post that he suddenly switched on and we got Mohammad Shami 2.0, the fitter version. Can you tell us a little bit more about this guy?
Yeah, you can see that.
Is that the atmosphere you're in, so it brings the best out of you?
No, look, obviously there is a big, huge impact which you have because of the fact that your captain is one of the fittest guys in world cricket. He sets the example. He doesn't take anyone who's, what should I say, shirks that kind of work ethic. And also, secondly, from your own point of view, you just see that guys are going ahead of me. You just don't want to be, if you're willing and keen to play for India, keen to represent your country, you know what is pulling you back. You know what works for you when it comes to your own bowling. Obviously, if you stay fit, you can bowl well. We have seen that with Mohammad Shami as well, that every time he's fitter, he's running in hard, it's a different Mohammad Shami. There have been times in that same innings where he yo-yos, he blows cold for a bit and suddenly within a spell, he just changes things around. So that's been Mohammad Shami. And you speak to him, you see him much leaner, much fitter. And yo-yo test is just a benchmark to figure out how fit you are. It doesn't showcase how skillful you are. But it's just that from a team point of view, they want people to reach those standards so that India maintains its level of fielding. You don't want a few batsmen who are gun fielders and the bowlers who have to be hidden in the field. You don't want that to happen, and that is something which this team management and the captain have laid out very clearly. You have to be of a certain standard in the field. Obviously, your skill sets are always there, and that is one of the reasons why we see a different Mohammad Shami who's in all formats. There was a time when Mohammad Shami was only playing Test cricket or only thought about. Now to become a considerably effective white ball bowler, he's had to have a relook, shrug a few things, bring in a few things, and you can see the end result there.
Michael, how is he different from Bhuvneshwar Kumar, the one he's replacing now?
Not that different in a lot of ways. I think Bhuvneshwar Kumar can swing the new ball quite a little bit more, although having said that, we haven't really seen the white ball swing too much in England so far. But they're both very consistent and disciplined bowlers with their lines and lengths. I would say Shami's probably a touch quicker than Bhuvneshwar Kumar. But I'd also have to say maybe Bhuvneshwar Kumar is perhaps a little bit more skilled towards the death overs, something that Shami's certainly improving on all the time. But there's not a lot different. They'll probably bring a pretty similar sort of game plan, I would have thought.
Kartik, I'll show you a couple of numbers for this Indian batting lineup. And you know, when we talk in Hindi, we say Vishal batting lineup because purely those are the kind of players that India possesses. Indian batsman versus spin, not a single spin bowler has been able to dismiss this in this World Cup. So I'm jumping the gun because Afghanistan relies so much on spin. Are we expecting a run fest of sorts on the cards?
Look,
397
I'm
by
happy
England.
that a stat like this has come about because not too far ago we were giving lots of wickets to spin and spinners, and again there was this massive debate that the Indian players don't play spin that often, that's why they're getting out to spin. In a way, I'm so happy that they've not gotten out to spin in England, and let's not put the markers on them because tomorrow Afghanistan do rely heavily on spin. So is it going to be a run fest? Hopefully, from an Indian point of view. Southampton, the last time we were there when they played South Africa, there was spongy bounce, there was something in it for the bowlers always, right through those 100 overs. And it'll be interesting who Afghanistan put on the park after Rashid Khan went for 100. Mujib bowling so well, Mujib being the standout spinner, although he didn't get wickets, being the standout spinner. And if some of their team management is looking, India have not lost any wicket to spin, do they want to bring in an extra seamer? It'll be interesting who they put out and what the conditions are tomorrow.
I don't think Afghanistan should look at that stat too deeply because
Not the right way to look at it. You should approach a game.
I think they've got to look at it and say, okay, what's our best team? What's our strength? And you're right, they base their game around their spinners. There's no point saying, oh, they don't lose any wickets against spin. Let's not play any spinners. Let's play our medium pacers because they're probably weakening their team. You've still got to play to your strengths, and India, they played the quicks pretty well as well.
A bit about their batting. What do you suppose is like before the World Cup, a lot of people were saying Afghanistan win the toss, bat first, but if you can put close to 250 on the board, then you have the bowling to challenge that and sort of defend that. That hasn't looked like the case so far in the World Cup.
Yeah, you're right. That was my big worry about Afghanistan coming into this World Cup was could they score enough runs? And then Mohammad Shahzad left as well. And so that was a bit of a blow to their chances. There's been a little bit of external distraction around the team. I thought against England there was a couple of their players just started to look a little bit better. I thought Shahidi played well. I thought Ramat played quite well. Asghar Afghan looked good for his 44. So they started to get a little bit of form going, and that holds them in good stead moving forward into the back end of this sort of tournament. Let's hope their batters can, as you say, get some runs on the board and then at least put some scoreboard pressure on the opposition.
Advice for Rashid Khan after the pounding you've taken versus England as a fellow spinner?
Nothing at all. You just have to sometimes just forget the fact that there is so much pressure on you. Always try and introspect as to what has worked well for you, and I think you need to stay in that, not get too swayed by what has happened. It's an off day. Everybody has off days. You need to forget it as quickly as possible. The most important thing for any spinner is to realize, or any cricketer, is to realize what are your limitations, what are your strengths. Stay within that, and you always tend to surpass and do better than what you end up doing. Sometimes when you think too much, and when you think that I need to do create so many things, that's where the problem lies.
So does he just go back to basics, or does he start trying more deliveries?
You made a valid point before. Sometimes, see, when we talked about all these mystery spinners, when Sunil Narayan came into Test cricket, they say he's going to run through England, and he went for 150, 160 runs, getting just one wicket. So what happens, what the point Huss was making was that in a 4-over format, these kind of bowlers are a lot more effective because you need to go after them. But sometimes when you just sit on them, they start thinking that we need to find wickets. That's what happened when that 2-day test match happened in Bangalore with Afghanistan making the debut. None of the spinners in test match cricket or in one-day cricket, you need to find your lengths. Length becomes mandatory. If you keep erring on length, people are going to hit you, and that's exactly what happened in the test match where they couldn't bowl a settle line. Mujib, the only guy who bowled a settle line was Mohammad Nabi because he's the old-fashioned off spinner. When these guys tried too many things, they were getting hit. That's exactly what happened even when he went for 110. One up, one shot, one up, one shot. You're just playing into a batsman's hand. That's why you just get back to bowling good lengths. You are Rashid Khan. People have to go after you. Once you keep bowling those lengths, they have to go after you. If you're giving it to them on a platter, they don't need to do anything else.
In a sense, Michael, from a batsman's point of view, if you've got such a quality spinner in front of you and you said, okay, I'm just going to give him the respect he deserves, aren't you already on the back foot?
Well, not necessarily, because 50 overs is a long game. It's different to a 20-over game where you have to be looking to score quickly. Yes, you still want to be positive. I'm not saying you just come out there and just block it. You still look to score and put his loose balls away. But you've got time just to be able to have a bit of a look and just see what he's doing, see what the pitch is doing, without having that pressure of I need to find a 6 or a 4 now, and then that translates onto the bowler's psyche. He starts thinking, well, I want to try something different for wickets, and that's when you might get a few loose balls. So I'd like to see Rashid Khan just to do the basics really well, bowl a really good line and length, as Kartik was saying, build up some pressure, and then if they can do that from both ends for a little while on the Indian batsman, then that's when the wickets might start to fall, rather than going searching for wickets and bowling too many loose balls.
So if I start giving freebies to Mike Hussey, he doesn't have to take a chance. When I'm bowling good deliveries, then he needs to take a chance. That's what we are saying. Rashid Khan bowls good line and length. He is Rashid Khan. So it's the onus of the batsman to take a chance against him. That's why he becomes even more mightier or even more powerful and lethal. But if he starts giving one full toss and, one over-pitch delivery and one short delivery, there's no pressure being built. That's what we're trying to say here.
Michael, the Afghanistan 11, sir. Who have you brought in? What are the changes? Are you making changes?
I'm making just one change, I think, and it's a little bit of a tough call on Najibullah, because I thought he actually probably didn't deserve to be dropped in the first place, but he came back for the last match. But just to try and find the balance of this team, I'd just like to see one more fast bowler in there. They just played the 2 medium paces in the last game. And so just having that one more seam bowling option might be beneficial for Afghanistan. I like the spin options. I'm definitely sticking with Mujeeb. I thought he bowled beautifully with the new ball against England. So I'd like to see him stay in the team. I think he's a class act. Certainly backing Rashid Khan. I would not even be thinking about leaving out my trump card there either. And I was impressed with how some of the batters started to show a bit of form with the bat. Najibullah, he was batting down at number 7, so I'd just like to maybe get one more bowling option out of that position.
Murali, Kartik, Michael Hussey, guys, thank you so much for joining us on ESPNcricinfo Match Day as we were building up to India's big game versus Afghanistan. Remember, it's a busy period for this Indian team in the World Cup. 4 games in the space of 11 days. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. Thank you, guys.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on the bell icon for notifications.